Hey, what's up, guys? I've been wanting to do this video for a while. I'm going to talk about doing Satin Stitch from a Trace Bitmap. Trace Bitmap, under normal circumstances, will only give you a fill stitch. Even the line looks like a straight line is just a fill stitch. There is one option that will give you a simple line that you can convert. Other than that, you're going to have to do it manually. Go to Path, Trace Bitmap. Here's your options. I don't have anything to trace yet. Brightness on single scan, brightness cutoff, edge detection, color quantization, auto trace. I'll skip center line for now. And in multicolor, we have brightness steps, colors, grays, auto trace. Back to single scan because I want to talk about center line tracing. Center line tracing, that is the easy way. If it works, you will very easily get to do a satin stitch from a Trace Bitmap if it works. Most of the time it doesn't work. However, it'll work on things like this. Which I just drew out on the back of an envelope with a pen. Yeah, and then I used KDE Connect to send the picture from my phone to the computer. I am going to do a video pretty soon on KDE Connect. Works in Windows, Mac, Linux, Android, iOS. Works phone to phone, computer to computer, computer to phone, phone to computer. It's just an amazing program. Anyway, video for that's coming up. Back to this. So I sent this to my computer using KDE Connect. I have it here somewhere, that one. And there it is. I'm not going to worry about making it smaller because I'm not going to be working this piece. All right, in a Trace Bitmap, doing center line tracing, I'm going to make sure that's highlighted. Hit apply. It goes away because you did it. I'm going to now bring up my object layer and objects. There's my image. I'm going to just turn off the eyeball so it's hidden. And there's our trace. The trace looks pretty good. The image, the trace. So doing it by center line tracing, all of these, every single line here is a simple line. You have to break it apart to do anything with it, I think. So let's test that theory. Path, nope. Object, fill and stroke. No fill, stroke, yep. Give us a 3. So extensions, Inkstitch, satin tools, convert line to satin. It did it. Well, I'm absolutely surprised. Troubleshoot. It's complaining about an image because we didn't delete the image. That's all fine and dandy. Go back to layers, delete the troubleshoot layer. We're good. So just like that, my little freehand line art image is now a satin stitch. There'll be some cleanup to do. You can see these couple of places where there's definitely some cleanup needed. Other than that, it's actually really good. That is cool. That is actually pretty cool. Okay, so that one's out of the way. Okay, we're gonna delete this, and then we're gonna load up another one. Okay, so we have loaded up this one. This is a PNG, kitty PNG, and I went ahead and closed everything out, so I have to open it up again. Path. Trace Bitmap gives us our Trace Bitmap tools, and then once you open that, depending on whether you have this highlighted, just click it and it'll show up right here. Default is brightness cutoff, and we're going to switch to centerline tracing just like we did that last one. Hit apply. It goes away. I'm going to go over here, path. Nope, object, layers and objects. I'm going to hide. So there is my centerline trace of that kitty image. This one will show you how to do it the other way too, or at least give you an example of how to do it the other way. But this is what we have so far. There's a few funny little things. I don't know why this little line to the right is here, and if you look, it's also on this side, and it's also on the bottom. I don't think it was on our original. Our original had a thick line all the way around. I don't know why that's there. That would actually be pretty easy to fix. Just do this, delete, 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 grab those two, make them straight. Okay, yep, like I said, easy to fix that. So we did a center line trace, which means these are simple lines. So I'm going to go to path. Nope, we're going to go to object, fill and stroke. There's no fill because it's a simple line. Stroke. We're going to change our stroke to a 4. Oh, that's a PX. Let's do that. Let's change it now. Let's go 4 mil. And then go extensions, Inkstitch, Satin Tools, convert line to satin. So that's, pretty quick and easy. It converted to satin, really nice and easy. I like it. Good. You'd have to come down here. Looks like maybe cut that, get it to not overlap each other, but other than that, excellent. So now I'm going to show you the other way. I'm actually going to just delete this, start over with this image, and then just bring that image back in. Open recent, kitty line art. Okay. I'm not going to remove my tools in this one. We'll go to this, do a path, trace bitmap. This time we're going to leave it on brightness cutoff, hit apply, and then I'm going to delete my image. Delete. Okay, so this is it looks just like the other one, it looks just like the original. It's actually really good. Looks just like our original. However, now these are fill lines. So what we're going to do first, we're going to go Inkstitch, fill to tools, fill, break apart, fill objects. They are fill lines. They are fill objects. I'm going to do a break apart, fill objects. So now I have single lines going on. So they look just like single lines, right? But if you do a Inkstitch, convert line to satin, it's going to say, I can't do it. Nope, can't do it. Same thing with this one. Inkstitch, tools, convert line to satin. Can't do it. And the reason it can't do it is because it's not a simple line. It is a fill stitch. Check this out though. If you go to fill and stroke, which is object fill and stroke. If you go to fill and stroke, turn off fill, I hit the X on the fill, and turn on stroke, which you can also do from down here with shift and click colors. If you do that, now the outline that we have right now is a simple line. And I'll show you to prove to you that it's a simple line. We're going to change that stroke to a 2 mil. 2 mil. And with that stroke, we can actually convert that to a satin line. because that outline stitch is a simple line. But that might not be what you want. You might want that full thickness to be your satin. You can do that too. A little more work involved, but we can do that too. All I did was undo, Control Z. Okay, so let's take our width down so it looks more simple. Okay. We're going to click the nodes tool. My goodness, look at all the nodes. I hope you can see this. Look at all those nodes. Lord help me. I'm going to need a drink to work with all those nodes. Or I can just simplify. So with that highlighted, we're going to go to Path, Simplify. Be careful with Simplify because sometimes it does break your work. And then we're just going to pick a location. Actually, we're going to do better than that. I kind of want to see, I'm going to do a preview of that. Because I want to see where it starts. Extensions, Inkstitch, params, not a preview, but just load up params, see where it starts. Starts at the bottom. Outstanding. That is a fill stitch. I mean, that is a simple line. Those are simple lines. Okay, but they are starting at the bottom, which means I think it's starting on this node, and then it's starting on the other line, it's starting on this node. So what we're going to do, trick that somebody on YouTube video, commented on my YouTube video, told me you can double click to create a node point. So we're going to try that right here. I want my node point right here. And we're going to double click. And it worked. Outstanding. Thank you, whoever that was. Actually, I don't want that. I'm going to undo. Okay, I'm going to drag that over here. Straighten it out a little bit. Straighten that out a little bit. So that it looks sort of like it did. And then I want this one to line up with it. At least somewhat. Oh, I didn't need to adjust on that one, did I? Okay. Okay, that's good. Now this point right here, just highlight that one and then hit this one that says break path at selected node. So now we have broken path right here. Scroll up to this one. Break the path right there. So now we have that one. Alrighty. So now we have a starting point and an ending point. Next thing you want to know is what direction are these going in. So I'm going to go back to fill and stroke on markers on this middle one. I'm going to pick an arrow. So now it's showing me which way the nodes are going, and they're going the same direction. That's great. That's what you want. I'm going to unselect that and put it back. As long as both of these simple lines are going in the same direction, that's all we need. Now I'm going to create some rungs to go on my two rails. Does that look familiar? Uh-huh. Two simple lines with some rungs in between. Yeah. All right. So I need. Okay. So this is my two rungs. It should work that way. And that's my first. So I'm grabbing that one. I'm going to hold the control button and multi-select. And then we're going to go to Path, Combine. And then we're going to go to Inkstitch, Params. And Satin Column Folder, and click. There it is. Uh-huh. Well, got an issue down here, don't we? Fine, that's fine and dandy. We will figure that issue out. It's stopping right here by the looks. Uh-huh. Ah, interesting. Uh-huh. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that and just delete it. And connect to there and come to there. Grab that, drag it down. And that should be all we need to do. Satin column. Because we added on, we didn't create a new line, drop it down, we added on to the existing line. And there's actually another way we could have fixed that. I might undo that to show you the other way we could have fixed that. Outstanding. Outstanding. I'm going to go ahead and show you the other way to do that. So I'm going to Control Z a couple of times until I get back to where it was, which is right there. And right from here, all you had to do was grab those two and then hit combine. So now that's one item right there. How sweet is that? That was a whole lot easier than the way I did it. And we'll take a look if it worked. Satin, custom satin. Look at that, worked like a charm. Sweet, sweet. Okay, so on this particular image, the centerline trace does work, but I went ahead and showed you how to do it the other way. On the next one I'm going to show you, it's going to be centerline trace doesn't work. So you have to do it the other way. Okay, so this is my last example. This example I picked out specifically because it does not centerline trace very good at all. At all. Okay. Yeah. Centerline trace, hit apply. Go here, hide the image. There's my centerline trace. Not very good. Not very good. Not very good, Al. Yep. Okay, so get rid of that. So my next option is if I want all these to be satin stitched. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and then you have to decide, are you single scan? You know, what are you going to do? On something like this, I don't want all the color variations, so I do want a black and white type finish. I don't know what that'll do for me. Multicolor grays might work. It actually looks pretty good on the preview. Brightness steps. A good trick is, you know, keep it as simple as you can. So I might stick with the brightness cutoff, which looks pretty good. And we're going to go ahead and delete that image. Now we have nothing but this. If you use multi-scan, you won't, theoretically, you don't have to do a break apart because a multi-scan will break apart for you. In this case, these are all fills. So I need to go into extensions, Inkstitch, tools, fills, break apart. And now I end up with Drum roll, please. Nine paths here. Should be 9 objects. So I'm going to, I'm not going to. Okay. So if we go in here and do exactly what I just did, we can turn each one of these into a satin stitch from a trace bitmap. So this will be the harder example. I'm going to do this whole thing and probably speed it up like I tend to do to get to a final product, but I want to see this done in its more or less final form. So we already did a break apart. That's good. I'm going to go ahead and select all, kill the fill, and give it a stroke, just like that. And we'll go back into our individual objects. I may, you know what? Let's go ahead and see if we can do a group simplify without killing the look. Yeah. So path, simplify. I believe it kept it. Nice. Outstanding. All right. It's so much better. Okay. So this, a lot of ways you can do this. You don't have to do it. Like, for example, on this one, we're going to go ahead and cut that. So now I have 2 pieces here. I'm going to delete that one and delete that one. Now I have 2 ends. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to double click to get my thing here in the middle. And we're going to do that again. I'm going to select that one and select that one. Now we have 2 ends. Now, like I said in the other one, that didn't really need it. So we're going to do this just to see what's happening. This middle marker, let's see what our directions are. Now, this is a great example. This is what I wanted the other one to do, but it didn't. You really need to have these arrows going in the same direction. If you don't have that marker, go to Edit, Preferences, under Node, show path directions on outlines. I think we'll take care of it, but this right here, mid markers are drawn on every node of path or shape except the first and last node. Okay. So go ahead and do that. This must be the first. Yep. And then that one's the last. Okay. So you want these arrows to go in the same direction. That is of utmost importance. These are not fill objects anymore. These are simple lines. So extensions, Inkstitch, fill tools, break apart fill objects is not going to work to break these apart because it is not a fill object. So in this case, we have to go into path. We have to use the Inkscape version of break apart. Now we have 2 separate paths. Unselect by just clicking outside of the piece. Now select one of them. It doesn't matter which one, unless you specifically for some reason need it to be one of them, but select one of them, give it a path, reverse. Now they're going in the same direction. Next thing I'm going to do is, since I had to break it apart, I want both of those objects. I'm going to go ahead and take both of those objects into a group. And from there, now we can draw some rungs. The long ones are rails and these are rungs. Do have a little bit of trouble remembering that. And they're probably not going to design inside, so we're just going to drop them inside. Now I just take everything that's inside that folder, path, combine, extensions, Inkstitch, params, stroke column, custom satin column. There is our satin column that originated from a trace bitmap. Outstanding, outstanding. I only need to do this 8 more times. Just remember, your separate lines have to be going in the same direction. I'm going to go ahead and do this one. We're going to do this one. I'm going to not speed this one up so you can see it. I'm going to do it the same exact way. I'm going to double click right there. That's going to be my separate it point. We're going to delete that node. We're going to delete that node. Come down here, do the same thing again. Going to double click to create a node, split it at that created node, hit delete, select the node, hit delete. Now we have our two ends. We need to go into our directions. They are running in different directions. We need to do a path, break apart, select outside of it to unselect, select one of them, path, reverse. Now they're running in the same direction. We're going to go ahead and get back into here. We're going to group those two. Don't have to do that. I'm going to show you how to do it without doing that. Just so you know, we're going to remember that the two lines I'm working on are these last two. And I'm going to create 3. 1, 2, 3. So now I can select the bottom 2 that I'm working with, push the control button to multi-select, and then the last 3 that I made, hit path, combine, extensions, Inkstitch, params, satin tools, custom satin column. Now, I'm going to do that now 7 more times. And I'm actually going to ungroup that one. Exit group. Yeah, ungroup. Okay. Yeah. And I guess where they fall don't matter too much. Okay. Probably at this point, we'll probably speed it up. Righty. We have finished doing all the conversions. Now I'm going to go ahead and select. I'm going to see if I can multi-select all of these and do a command to trim. Trim. I think I've done that before. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Going straight into preview. Let's speed that up. It's not perfect. Certainly pretty good. Little bit of tinkering here and there would make it really fine. But yeah, that is a satin stitched piece of work from Trace Bitmap. It can be done. The simple way doesn't work very often, and that's the more complicated way, and I showed you how to do both of them. And then the other way that I didn't show you is the way I pretty much do it all the time, which is a manual trace anyway. So that's the other way. But that is the advanced tutorial Trace Bitmap Satin Stitch. If you like what I do here, please like and subscribe. Make an old trucker happy. Until next time, thanks for watching.